Alright! Gotta love that Frog Leap Studios. So, I was looking at the review of last night's clip. It looks like the microphone took a dump somewhere about 9 minutes in. Well, that sucks. So, I'm going to be redoing that one. I won't be doing that tonight. Tonight, I'm going to move forward with something else. But I will be revisiting Death Road to Canada shortly. Probably sometime this week due to the microphone error that took place. It's the downside of using a hardware mixer, as I see the input little flickery lights down there, and didn't think to notice that it wasn't registering there for some reason. Fuck. Well, that sucks. So, we'll be redoing that video. Tonight, we're going to be looking at Dead Secret. Dead Secret. Yes, Kansas, 1965, some kind of psychological horror mystery thing. Fuck it, why not? So, also, before we get going, oh my lord, that is not the right picture. What am I doing? What am I doing? I am slacking off, apparently. Hold on. We've got to fix that. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? It's just one thing after another today. Seems like everything's going wrong one way or another. So let's fix that. Yeah, man. So while I'm taking care of that, I want to give a big shout out to Mooner Designs. They're responsible for our intro animation, our overlay, our logo. Pretty much all of our graphics are done by Mooner Designs. There, now I can fix that. I'm slacking. I'm slacking. I apologize. That is just me being a slacking piece of shit. There we go. Graphic updated. Oops. As usual, that was Frog Leap Studios in the beginning. Their link is down at the bottom of the video. For Mooner Designs, they are at facebook.com/Mooner Designs. Also, if you go to the website, ShirkanaSchannel.com, click on links. There's a link there for them, as well as links to our Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and a contact through email. So, without further ado, let's get Dead Secret going. It's a lot of hands. Is this some kind of a digital high five that I'm not aware of? Yeah, no place to start like the start. September 25th.
Bullard was found dead in his study 5 days ago.
I didn't know you were going to
Nobody
talk.
believes me, but I think he was murdered. This house in the middle of nowhere holds the secret. There's a story hiding here, and I'm going to cover it. If I'm right, there are 4 major suspects. Graham Wellington, Josie Herrera, Cynthia Peckman, Bobby Sawyer. I'm not leaving until I find out what happened.
Wow, I kind of look like a snooty bitch. A small parcel tied tightly with twine. I can't open it with my bare hands. Alright, we got a reclusive professor found dead in home. Yada yada, retired colleague. Yes, college teacher. Well, I can't read today either. Found dead in his home Monday. The body was discovered by Bobby Sawyer, who worked part-time for Bullard running odd jobs. Police investigation was concluded that Bullard died of natural causes. He was 63. Bullard moved into his home on Rumpo Way several years ago, but was rarely seen about town. What's wrong with that? He was a private and reclusive man who seemed to have few friends. Bullard raised eyebrows last year when a former student, a pretty young woman named Josie Herrera, moved in with him. Alright. Bullard's will, written in 1957, leaves his entire estate to his ex-wife Cynthia Peckman. Peckman will reportedly sell the house and its contents immediately. Harris was a genius in his discipline, said Graham Wellington, a former colleague. The field of neuroscience is considerably poorer without him. Okay. Oh, alright. Apparently you take notes. Retired recluse found dead in his study. Police ruled death natural. Ran errands for Bullard, found the body. Bullard's live-in assistant. Ex-wife, inheritor of Bullard's estate. Former colleague of Bullard. An old piano, and it's blocking the way, so I can't lift this stuff with one arm, even using a one-hand truck. It's a small key. Investigate the crime scene. They sure aren't wasting any time selling off Bullard's stuff. This is supposed to be Kansas, right? This is the crime scene. I need to investigate the study. Well, maybe I wanted to go to that room. Okay, don't you tell me my business. This is where Bobby Sawyer found Bullard's body. He'd been dead for a couple of days, though. It's only September, but today is cold and dark. Fall is here, I guess. There's a piece of paper. The Snow Woman, adapted from an original translation of Lafcadio Hearn. An old man and his son climbed a mountain to collect firewood. It began to snow heavily. Unable to make it back home, they decided to pass the night in a small hut. In the middle of the night, the young man awoke to see the door had been blown open. A tall woman with long hair and a white kimono was leaning over his father, blowing her breath upon him. When she saw that the son was awake, she said, "You are a handsome young man, so I'll let you live. If you ever speak of this to anyone, your life shall be forfeit." In the morning, the young man found his father frozen and dead. He climbed down the mountain alone and never spoke of the episode. A year later, he met and married a young, beautiful girl. They had children together and were happy, but the night of his father's death still weighed heavily on his mind. One night, after having a bit too much to drink, the man told his wife about his encounter with the Snow Woman. She was furious. "You promised not to tell," she screamed, and before his eyes she became the tall woman with long black hair and a white kimono. "If it were not for our children, I would end your life here and now. I will spare you for their sake, but if anything ever happens to them, you shall pay the price." And with that, she melted into the wind and was gone. Alright. Books by the same author. Looks like one is missing. So we've got a missing book. Is it missing or is it just somewhere else? I've never seen a map laid out like this. There's a spot marked with an X on it. Well, yes, there is a spot marked with an X on it. That's why I clicked on it. Is that a fucking dildo? Issues of the Journey of Psychology and a bunch of medical books without names I can't pronounce. It's the slowest globe spin ever. Just a regular lamp. Looks like a tiny camera lens. Pair of scissors. I can use these to open the package of the other room. Harris Bullard, I am Woodcutter. Your past has caught up with you. It is over. What's this? Who is Woodcutter? What was he typing? It was the feeder that I... So turn the knob! Reading about Ouija boards in 1852, William Benjamin Carpenter was the first person... first to describe the phenomenon known as the ideomotor effect. The ideomotor effect occurs when the subconscious mind takes control of the body without the conscious mind realizing it. Ideomotor action is distinct from other forms of involuntary action because responses are driven by existing knowledge and perception. The Ouija board, Carpenter suggested, is a clear manifestation. The participants unwittingly move the plancher. I have no idea if I just pronounced that right. Because their subconscious mind is guiding them. Another example of this phenomena is dowsing, the practice of using a divining rod. I pulled out one page. How come I have more than one? What? This doesn't even make any sense. To locate water or other materials buried underground, the dowser holds the instrument in both hands and allows it to lead them forward until it points down at the ground, seemingly by itself. For centuries, dowsing was believed to be a form of magic or witchcraft, but we know now that it can be explained by the ideomotor effect. The dowser's subconscious mind is highly sensitive and is able to recognize cues in the environment of which his conscious mind is not aware. When these cues hint the location of the water, the subconscious mind takes control of the dowser's hands and causes him to rotate the rod to the ground. Since the conscious mind is not involved in this operation, the instrument seems to move on its own, pulled as if by some magical force. In reality, it is the dowser himself who is divining. His subconscious mind is responsible both for the detection of buried materials and for the motion of the rod. My research seeks direct access to the knowledge stored in the subconscious mind. Complete, unfiltered linkage between the sensitive unconscious and the logical conscious. I call this state idiofocus. It's a note with a foreign symbol on it. Underneath it reads North. Joe, something is after me. It's creeping around the house, trying to get in. I'm sure of it. I heard footsteps outside and creaking on the roof. It's not safe here. I've taken the idiofocal lenses from their normal location and hidden them in my study. I've sent you a package that you'll know what to do with. Check the map for the mask. As usual, X marks the spot. Harris, P.S. The sequence is west, east, north. It's something in this room. Suspect this will be a great hook for my opening paragraph. How do I... Okay, if I ever need that again, I don't know how to find it now. Creepy fucking masks. Hey, what's that? There's a page from a manuscript here. The man who could see with his skin. In 1926, I met a man who could see with his skin. His eyes were sealed with wax and bandaged, yet he remained aware of the room around him. We held up signs which he read and fingers which he counted, even when we stood behind him. After the performance, I gave him $200 for the secret. He explained that he could see as long as some part of his skin remained exposed to the air. He described it as a shift in the wind or a slight breeze on his face. The subtle motion of the hair on his arm. After years of focus and practice, he had developed the ability to form a mental image of his surroundings based only on the slight sensations. This man had achieved a form of idiofocus. Granted, he only had access to a very narrow range of sensory information, but the result was powerful. I immediately resolved to discover the secret of his ability. Now, almost 4 decades later, I am very close. Here it reads, Eyeless Joe found dead in hotel. It's a record player. There's no record inside. Can we poke around inside still? It's another lens. I found 2 of them now. Doesn't turn on. Yes, it's broken. This room is a regular library. Some of these volumes look ancient. It's all covered in dust. Quantum mechanics and functional analysis, not exactly light reading. I wonder if Belota actually read them all. Guess that's all I'm going to get out of it. Well, I suppose let's go see what's in the package. I'm going to go sneak into the package. The fuck was that? It's an old book. It says Qui-Gon on the cover. Whatever that means. The author is that dude. Yeah, no shit, right? But I want to go in that door. I thought you said the TV wouldn't turn on. It's weird. I could have sworn the TV was off before. TV was off. I tried to turn it on. You told me I couldn't do it. The door's locked from the other side. There's no keyhole. Press B or right mouse for inventory. Can't push the book all the way back. Feels like it's hitting something. Wait, there's something jammed way back there. It's a flat triangular wedge. There's some sort of foreign writing on it. Wooden wedge. And what do I do with said wooden wedge? Nope, can't say as I recognize it by the name, that's for sure. Maybe this picture here, maybe this picture or something. Something about this painting makes me uncomfortable. It's very bleak. I wonder if it's by a local artist. Picture of a woman. She's wearing a white kimono and standing in the snow. How old of old car days? Alright, so what the fuck do you want me to do with this shit? Play with my wedge? Is that it? You want me to wedge it up? Hey, closest to 2012 would have been Fiat. Okay, now her piano. Yeah, there's a store here and I know it. I need to investigate the study. I was in the study and fucking thing. This is a beautiful mag. I think the X is over Japan. 2013 would be Toyota. Yes, yes he was. It's gotta be something simple. I'm sure of it. Well, that means you're probably Joe. Gonna be my guess. Just a regular lamp. All right, we'll give it a shot. We'll try TV in it again. It was on, and then it wasn't on. Doesn't turn on. Guess it's broken. Yeah, it was on briefly when I came back. Then I poked it and I turned it off. And now it's off again. And I keep hearing that piano in the other room. Now, why do I keep hearing the piano? Is it just an error sound, or...? North. Wait. West, east, north. Anybody got a compass? Keep hearing that damn piano. The wedge was in the bookshelf. When I got the scissors to open that package there, with Creepy McCreeperson fucking creeping behind me, and then put the book on the shelf that wouldn't go in because the wedge was behind it. Well, of course the books aren't even English. It's obvious the dude's got a hard-on for Japan stuff. Kind of feels like they're looking at me. What did they see in this room? They're fucking masks. What the fuck do you think they saw? Dude's just got this weird fucking dildo just chilling here on the shelf, looking all dildo-y. He's surprised because he's not shoved up somebody's ass. You don't say. I think this is called a banker's lamp. What? Why do I care what kind of lamp it is? There's some pretty advanced degrees. This one from University of Chicago, 1935. Boy, I'd love to visit Chicago. No dial tone. I got this lens, man. Yes, one of them does appear to be missing. Maybe they were up his ass. Alright, the mouse is being a little difficult. Switch to a controller. Why is this thing giving me so much shit all of a sudden? The mouse has stopped working. I gotta say, if the mouse is just randomly failing in this game, I'm already not impressed. Well, now my mouse is working just fine. Okay. It just got finicky for some reason. Yeah, return the slab to where? Well, you want... I don't think Dildo Guy wants it, but I'll give it a shot. Here you go, Dildo Guy. No, he's just surprised when he gets the slab. Alright, well... Oh, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yes. It's Doc Gerbils' world. It's Doc Gerbils' world. It's Doc Gerbils' world. It's Doc Gerbils' world. Well, I'm trying to not let it be empty. I try to give you a wedge. Investigate the crime scene. I'm here. This is a crime scene. And a wedge that I have no fucking clue where said wedge goes. I don't know, maybe put the wedge in this book, where I found the lens. Here, have a wedge. Have a wedge! If I look at the masks of these things. Yeah. The coroner ruled that Butler died from pancreatic failure. The body didn't have a mark on it, no trauma, no signs of struggle. If he was murdered, his killer was pretty sneaky about it. Damn it, Bobby. So we got north. I gotta be missing something fucking simple as hell. And then when I find it, I'm just gonna be all, what the fuck? Why didn't I see that sooner? It's gotta be. Yeah, I don't have a compass. I don't know which way north is. Yeah, it was east, west, north. But I don't know which way east or west is. I know where real north is. West, east, north. Well, this is what would be west, east, and then north. West, east, and north. Now we're back to this again. Don't know. I know very little about this. All I know is it has had good scores. It's a relatively newer game from this year, and yeah, that's about it. West, east, north? No. Wait a minute. West, east. Well, it went west on its own. Who's got Japan marked? Hey! Small box. I think it's better look. Desk. We finally made some fucking progress. Alright. North is that symbol. Yep, wedge it is. You are correct about the wedge. And then the combination is west, east, north. What the fuck is this? I see the lenses fit in the mask like I saw. It looks like a weird pair of goggles. Hey, how you doing? Who was that? It was the devil, bitch! Why was this glowing? There was a page taped to the back. Josie, if you're reading this note, then something must have happened to me. I may be dead or missing. If so, you're the only person who can save our research. The truth is that I'm being threatened. It started before I left the college. I get notes every few months from somebody calling themselves Woodcutter. What he wants is access to our research. He wants me to turn over our plans for the Lunar Dream apparatus. Rosie, my life is in danger. Woodcutter knows things, secret things about my past that nobody should know. I'll not yield to simple blackmail. But lately the threats have escalated. I'm sure that I am being watched at the house. I sometimes hear things on the other side of the wall. Yesterday, with the mask on, I thought I saw somebody reaching for me. It's a warning from my subconscious. I am no longer safe here. I've locked our research away in the safe upstairs. I want you to retrieve it and leave. Destroy everything before you go. Burn the house down if you have to. Just get the research and get out of here. Head for a big city where it's easy to hide. I'm counting on you, Joe. Don't let our work fall into their hands. I knew there was more to this story. Whatever Bullard was mixed up in, I bet there's evidence in that safe. No shit. He just said the evidence isn't... It did! Read that in the safe! Bullard's death is definitely fishy. Better stop and review my notes. What? About that guy. Bobby ran odd jobs for Bullard. Could he have done it? He certainly had the opportunity. Bullard was scared. He's worried about losing his secret research. What is this, a fucking homework assignment? Blackmail. I knew this would be a scoop. Somebody wanted Bullard's research. He must have been killed for it. Bullard was being blackmailed by Woodcutter. Are you making sure I'm paying... I'm getting this awful, like, were you paying attention vibe here. Was I caught sleeping in class? Did I miss something here? Woodcutter, what is that supposed to mean? This is the kind of juicy detail I came here to find. Okay, to sell this story, I need some real evidence. Let's go check out that safe upstairs. Wow, you take stairs really slow, lady. Left or right? Ah, fuck it, let's go for a left. Yep, you got a newspaper. Hero says helicopter may win Vietnam War. Da Nang, South Vietnam. A Medal of Honor winner from Kansas said today the helicopter may win the war in South Vietnam. Marine Major Douglas Big Tom Thompson, 39 of Fortuna, won the nation's highest military award during World War II, manning a bazooka in Iwo Jima. Take it easy, Joe. Major Thompson is attached to the Marine Helicopter Squadron operating along the coast and northern border of South Vietnam. Thompson's father lives in Wichita, Kansas. As a leatherneck, Thompson destroyed 16 Japanese strongpoints and killed 75 Japanese on Iwo Jima in 1945. He is the only Medal of Honor winner currently serving in Vietnam. The most effective weapon the Viet Cong use is terror. The big pipe-smoking Marine said the most effective one against them is the helicopter. Well, go helicopter, I guess. What do we have here? Well, I'd say a note. Dear Diary, today is anniversary. It was 5 years ago today that I found Dad's name on an old research paper at the U of C. He had written it in 1933, 8 years before I was born. I didn't know he had gone to college. I had never really thought about his life. He was just a name on my birth certificate. Dan read out on Mama after the war. He had gone off to fight and just never came back. When he stopped writing, Mama thought he'd been killed. I remember her crying at the kitchen table. The war ended, life went on, Mama died without ever finding out what happened to him. I used to hate him, hated the idea of him, hated my mother a little bit too. I figured Dad was just a deadbeat who ditched Mama because he didn't want a kid. But when I found his name in the library, something changed. I couldn't stop thinking about him. Deadbeat dads don't study physics, do they? What is he doing now? What does he look like? Is he married to somebody else? I traced him here to Kansas, but finding him is taking longer than I had expected. Not much of interest. Hey.
It might say reporter on my desk, but I spend most of my time at the Standard making coffee for my editor. I'm tired of writing the gossip column. This story is my shot at the big leagues. When I prove that Bullard was murdered, all the big papers will come calling. I'll finally escape this backwater town. This is it. The chance I've been waiting for.
Well, okay then. We'll close a small dial mounted on the front. Well, I imagine I gotta find whatever it is that, Ha! I found something. Bobby, here's your latest chapter all typed up. I think the story's becoming very interesting. I'm sure you can get it published. I hope you don't mind, but I made a few edits and inserted a few details here and there. I'm looking forward to your next chapter, Joe. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer. The man had been dead for hours when they found him. He had crawled halfway up Sarah Johnson's porch steps before coming to rest just outside the door, his feet dangling off the edge like spaghetti that somebody had cooked too long. Old Sarah just about keeled over when she saw him. The man was inked. Weird lines crisscrossed every inch of his skin, like Indian war paint. Even his eyelids were marked. The tattoos made him look like some African shaman out of National Geographic, except he was white and he was wearing work overalls 2 sizes too big. Jimmy, the only cop on duty at 6 in the morning, thought maybe the man had escaped from a chain gang. Jimmy was never the sharpest tool in the shed. Detective Henderson, though, he's smart as a whip. He had photos taken of the body, all naked and everything. He put the pictures up at his wall at the little station in the middle of town and started moving them around, turning them this way and that, until the tattooed edges started to line up. It took him 3 days, but he put it together, just like a jigsaw puzzle, until the thick lines all connected to the thin lines, and the overall shape became clear. Would you believe it? It was a map. When the coroner cut the man open, he found his insides were all twisted into the same map, and when they sawed into the man's bone, they found the map there too, etched into the marrow like rings on a tree stump. Well, that's how we first found our way to the cave. Alright, what do we got in here? It was full of logs, bucket, wood. There's a plate with a circular dial. That's what I need to open. Hey!
Bill told me to cover Bullard's death, but he's just looking for gossip about the young assistant. But I took it seriously, did the research, followed every lead, like a real journalist would. It paid off. I found something everybody else missed. A note, a half-thought, scribbled in the margins of the coroner's draft report. It read, "Hypothermia in summer?"
Harris Bullard, I'm Woodcutter. I know your secret. James Lowery sends his regards. The scheme went south as we killed Bullard. That's entirely possible. Hey, another, I think it's boxed up. Or just move out. There we go. Bullard Daily Log, November 2nd, 1964. We did a test run on the ideofocal lenses today. At first, we did not know how to interpret the results, but now I believe they are working better than we had anticipated. Instead of an unfiltered stream of sensory information, what we are seeing is subconscious memory. The lenses distort in response to visual stimuli the wearer has some knowledge of. They see what my conscious mind cannot. Josie prepared, what we are really doing is mining dreams. Dreams are, after all, a form of audiofocus. The time when the subconscious comes forward and shows us truths that we might not otherwise recognize. What we are striving for is unrestricted access to dream thought. As a control mnemonic, the mask works pretty well. I could tell that Josie was dubious at first, but now she understands subconscious thought is potentially dangerous to the subject. We will need a physical object to enable the mind to compartmentalize, providing the wearer with some degree of cognitive protection. Permanent augmentation will require a much larger apparatus. We'll need some other kind of focus mnemonic to help the brain control the dream information that receives something large. The moon, perhaps. Well, there's the safe. Well, it's a safe. Now, I'm really interested in this puzzle that's over here. or tab to equip the goggles. Hey, it's that guy. Here's looking at you, kid. There are pieces of a torn up photo here. It's an old photo of two men on a ship. There's Laurie and Harris Bullard, USS Essex, 1943. Homeboy is still just chilling up there. Alright, so it's a small wooden knob. Small knob. Ah! Your diary today, Dr. Bullard and I built a chassis for his new weather device. It's weird as usual, but I don't really... Well, we're building it. Dr. Bullard doesn't explain things. Tomorrow I need to go buy some bottles for the base. Today was Mama's birthday. She would have been 54. But she would have liked the work I'm doing now. I hope she's proud somewhere. I had the nightmare again last night. It's been over a year since I had last, but never changes. I've written about it over and over, but the writing seems to help, so I'll tell you about it again. I'm 5 years old in our apartment in Chicago. It's dark. I've gotten out of bed to get some water, but I hear something coming from Mama's room. I peek in and see a tall man standing over her. He has his hands around her neck. He's breathing hard, and in the cold night air, I can see his breath. It streams out of his whole mouth like smoke and seems to cover her. There isn't any breath coming from Mama. She's already dead, but he continues to squeeze. When I was a kid, I thought the dream would go away when I grew up. It hasn't. Rats, the safe combination isn't here. I'm pretty sure I saw a drawer with a missing knob downstairs, though. Hi. Oh, okay. Hi. Dead end. Ah! I see what you did there. Alright, well, let's... Where's it picking up from? Something tells me this is not going to go well. Back at you! Huh. That worked, I think. Why is there snow? Wasn't there not snow just a minute ago? Well, we'll go this way then. Why not? Was that a no? Alright, then I'll go that way. Okay, then this way. Why the fuck is there a little monkey here? No! No, Oogie Boogie! I think that's left over from the last chat. Yo, what's up? I see you without the crazy goggles, dude. It's popping. Alright. Well, you just have fun being weird. The axe is stuck in deep in the ground. I can't get it out with one arm. God, you're a pansy. I must have hit my head. The man in the raincoat was that woodcutter. Until I figure out what's going on. Builder, I found your instructions to calibrate the Tempest prognosticator. Your concern was correct. The bottles must be placed from heaviest to lightest to produce accurate results. Bullet's research is crucial to this story. I wonder if I can get this thing working. Inside and looks like a battery. I thought maybe that was a button. Tunnel marked with the letter B, there's a leech inside. Using the moon as a trigger for the lunar dream apparatus has its problems. The moon must be full, or nearly so. The night must be clear, and the process must be started at a very specific time to ensure that the moon is visible from inside the chamber. Josie's been following weather reports and using lunar charts to try to predict the days for ideal test conditions, but it's an error-prone process. The data we get back from the weather service just isn't precise enough. Today, I hit upon the solution. We'll build our own weather device. In fact, we can base it upon an exceedingly accurate design from a century ago, the Tempest Prognosticator. I'll have to make some modifications for our purposes. Of course, I'm sure that with some tuning, we can build a device that responds exactly to our weather needs. Then we'll need to get some leeches. This is a weird fucking dude.
Marguerite Higgins is my hero. She won a Pulitzer for her reporting in Korea. I went to college because of her. She goes to war zones, marches with the troops. Nothing scares her, and she gets the story. Marguerite Higgins doesn't run from a juicy story just because her life is in danger. Neither will I.
Okay. Hey, you know, November 15th, 1960. Dear Harris, I read in the paper today that you received a special award from the college for groundbreaking research, and I'm writing to wish you my sincere congratulations. I have said some things that I regret, but today I wish only to extend good wishes to you and to your future endeavors. Do you know the scene from North by Northwest? Scene in North by Northwest when Cary Grant disrupts an art auction. He makes nonsensical bids until the police are called to haul him away. I saw it last summer at the cinema we used to drive to in Logan. It was lonely to go alone, but that scene made me smile. My life feels like that sometimes. I poke my head up and say something crazy every now and then, just on the off chance that somebody will take me away from all of this. I'm no Cary Grant. Hey, I wasn't done reading that. I'm afraid. I would like to hear from you. Please write me back. Sincerely, Cynthia. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 8. The passage continued downward. A steep slope like we're going down a hill. The smooth crystal didn't give our feet purchase, and we were trying our best not to slip. It was dark at night, but the light from our helmets reflected strangely from the walls, making them dance blue. Once or twice I thought I saw a flicker in the glass, but it was just a trick of the light. It was cold down there, none of us wearing a jacket. It dawned on us that we had come totally unprepared. A few hours before, we had been whooping and shouting, excited by a crazy angles that cut the crystal entrance out of the cave wall. I'm sure that we'd found something that was going to make us rich. Now we walked in silence. Henderson's face wore a hard, determined look. Oh, fucking yawning. Henderson's face wore a hard, determined look. Johnson's was all suspicious. Jimmy just looked scared. Skin pale and his eyes wide. I opened my mouth to say something to him, then shut it. Either we'd find a way out or we'd die down here. All there was to do. It was then that Johnson screamed. Gosh, is there something written here? Star Circle Square. Hey, I want to click that.
Dad took me to Wichita once before he died. We drove for 4 hours to get there, ate hamburgers, and watched a movie. Then we went home. He never explained, just told me to get in the car. I guess he knew he was going to die.
Well, that's depressing. National recognition for local college. Washington, D.C. The National Academy of Sciences announced its annual picks for leaders in science academia on Wednesday. Among the recipients of this prestigious award was our own Oakley College in Logan. The college won recognition for a controversial research paper published by the school's small neuroscience department last year. "We're very proud to have our work recognized in this way," said Dr. Graham Wellington, chair of Oakley's Brain Studies program. "We are a very small program focused on areas of research that the big schools ignore. We applaud the Academy of Sciences for giving us the chance to prove ourselves." The award-winning paper, authored by Wellington and Dr. Harris Bullard, was written in 1962 but only published last year. Titled "Accessing Subconscious Waves Through Twisted Pair let's see if I can pronounce this. Electroencephalography? I don't know. Sounds good. Works. The highly technical paper caused some controversy in the neuroscience community and was ridiculed by many experts in the field. The paper was the source of some local tumult as well. "This paper was written entirely by Dr. Bullard," said one Oakley student who did not wish to give his name. Wellington just put his name on it and took all the credit. Bullard, who retired from the school last year, could not be reached for comment. Work order, invoice, something Beckman packing, number 20 out. And 3 workers, 125 an hour, estimate total 75. Transportation and storage, 5 hours and 3 workers, right? 20. Client wishes to keep large item piano unpacked for sale at auction. Do not pack contents of guest bedroom, second floor, left side. Owned by client. Client is still looking for key to first floor study. Will provide by 9/26. Expensive looking items are to be packed separately for immediate sale. Oh, I didn't even notice someone was painting up there. We're walking. Yes, indeed, we're walking. Gotta get back to the fireplace, I guess, to look at it. Marshall Bullard feels like he's looking at me. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. What? No devil, man. No weeds? It's frozen shut. I can hear something rattling around inside. United States Patent Office, patented January 3rd, 1963, eyewear with electromagnetic refracting lenses, Harris Bullard, Oakley College, Logan, Kansas. Abstracting disclosure, a pair of goggles provided which include a metal strip, a battery, and lenses, and an assembly which, when placed over the eyes that rests against the head, permits the metal strip to touch the skin just above the left ear and crossing the forehead to touch the skin above the right ear as well. The function of the metal strip is to detect upon contact electromagnetic impulses from the brain and to transmit them to the lenses. The lenses are created from a glass material, reference pending application serial number 655234, filed April 12, 1957, that is made to alter its refraction of light based on electromagnetic impulses received from the metal strip and amplified by the battery. This invention relates to the visualization of electromagnetic activity in the brain, or particularly the creation of visual patterns based on the neural activity of the subconscious. Bobby, here's the list of supplies this week. I know you're angry that I haven't paid in a month, but please wait a little bit longer. I'll have some money coming. I'll be able to pay you soon. Beans, cigarettes, tonic water, bread, butter, eggs, copper wire, 3-foot, solder spool, vinyl tape, gasoline, butane, leeches. As many as you can get alive. Harris Bullard on Woodcutter. You will complete your research and then hand it to me, or we can discuss the South Pacific in 1944. Hey. Oh, that's probably the controller disconnecting from earlier. Harris Bullard on Woodcutter. You have 5 days. I am coming. Alright, so the creepy person that's been following me around here is probably Woodcutter then. Hey, there's another one of the bottles. It's printed on the label. Second, 1961, Dear Harris, Happy New Year. Suppose I'm wasting my time by running you again, but the new year always makes me think about the past. I was very upset when you did not respond to my last letter. I was told that you refused my calls at college. I understand that you are still angry, and for that I cannot fault you, but unlike you, I have gotten past our little meltdown. I have grown to see it as the inevitable terminus of our relationship, something that had to happen sooner or later. Like split milk, as they say. Oh, spilt, not split. Spilt milk, as they say. It's not worth crying over. But I do have a request. I will make it plain, Harris. I need money. Some of my investments went bad last year. And with Kennedy in the White House soon, the others will certainly fail. You may hate me now, but I cannot believe you will consign me to a life of poverty. Somewhere deep down inside you, under that mask you wear on your daily life, you must still feel something for me. Please say you'll help me. Just this once. Put down the mask and trust your feelings. Humbly and sincerely, Cynthia. What does his debts have anything to do with you? Or your debts have anything to do with him? The door won't open, so there's something on the other side. Alright, well, that leaves this door here. Kind of narrows it down. Into the cellar we go. Not without a light, she says. Hmm. Something I can burn and use as a light? It's not that hard. It's... Whoa! Another note. Chapter 4 of the Subconscious Mind. The human brain is, at some level, not unlike the pot that produces my coffee every morning. The water I pour into it is infused with the bean. The grounds themselves do not pass through the filter, but the liquid that collects at the carafe is no longer simply water. It has been permanently altered. For part of my body is a sensitive instrument, my skin, my eyes, my muscles, my tongue. If I am a coffee pot, this stream of psychological information is the water. My conscious mind is the coffee and the carafe. And the sieve, the filter that makes the drink palatable, is the subconscious mind. Wait a minute. I've got that frozen thing. I can put it in the on the stove. It says it looks like it still works. Maybe? Maybe not. The sink! I can run the water on it in the sink. Looks like a blank sheet of paper is something special about it. Was paying Bobby Sawyer to get the supplies, duh. I've got a blank page. It's not. Yes, it is. It is a scale. You are correct. Bash with the fireplace poker. Well, I've already done that. Well, that's a square. Great, there's a wall outside, but as far as I know, I can't go outside. Or can I? Well, let's find out. Maybe I can. It's gonna be something that's staring me in the fucking face, I'm sure of it. Hey. I didn't notice that before. August 18th. The little mail fraud enterprise Bobby and I are operating has paid off. Since the beginning, I have had suspicion about Woodcutter's true identity, but I'm not confront him without evidence. Several months ago, I started paying Bobby extra to steal outgoing correspondence from a particular individual's mailbox. We steam open the letters, give it a read, and then send it on its way. It's not the most exciting trick in the book, and Bobby certainly doesn't like it, but I found it to be an effective method of surveillance. Today we intercepted a very interesting letter. This confirms most of my theories and has been locked away for safekeeping. When I have one or two more pieces of the puzzle, I'll nail Woodcutter to a wall. I'll have to do it quickly, though. The device, my ace in the hole, is almost finished. When it's completed, there will be no reason for Woodcutter to let me live. I'll just have to get to him first. I'm highly confused. There's something here. There's gotta be. Door's locked. Once the handle turns, the door opens. Other side. Won't go down the other way without a light. What if you wear the mask? Apparently the mask is not good enough. Can't go out the window. There's electronics inside, and it looks like a battery. Paper? Says flashlight battery. What else we got? Wants to draw my attention to here for some reason. It's not clear of anything I can do once I am here. Is there a flashlight somewhere I just haven't found, and then that's going to be the battery for it? Let's get closer to this box and look. Hey, another note. Log, Cynthia called me today. She sounded drunk. Sometimes I think she calls just to get a rise out of me. I maintained my calm this time. Declined her invitation to meet and told her in no uncertain terms that if she was looking for money, she had best look elsewhere, and now I'm going to get drunk myself. Graham came by my office this morning. He had a strange-looking envelope. It was addressed to me, but had been pushed under his door. Bore no return address, just the single word woodcutter. I had to run to class, and I haven't had a chance to open it yet. But something about it makes me uncomfortable. I hope it's not another love letter from a student. Graham is a weasel. He's never stepped foot in the lab or run an experiment, but he makes it sound like he's the brains behind the whole program. Without me, he'd be a washed-up theorist with nothing to his name. Musician. I'm sure that's what it is. One of these boxes is open and has a flashlight in it. It's gotta be. And that's glowing because I need to find because that's where the flashlight battery is. There's more boxes over here. I'll walk right past that box. Just threw them in there. So where's the fucking flashlight? You want me to know where the battery is, so tell me where the flashlight itself is. Why do I have a fireplace poker? The hid message appeared. I can't believe that worked. Thank you for the lemon juice. This is my first time writing a secret message, and I hope it works. Today I brought his weekly groceries, and again he refused to pay. It's been over a month. He claims that he's broke, but I don't believe him. My family has bills to pay too. You know he'd never send a white boy away without payment. I can't stand this. My mom listens to Dr. King on the radio nearly every week. She says we've got to be vigilant but peaceful. But I'm tired of being peaceful. If somebody doesn't pay you for your work, I think you should take action. Next time I come around, Bullard's going to pay his tab, and we're going to have some words. Maybe more than words. Don't worry about me, though. I'll come prepared. Still doesn't solve my flashlight dilemma. What if I use the poker on... Somebody's always got to play the race card. Wait. No, it just takes me back over here. Hmm. I'm awfully confused. Really? We're gonna play the connect and disconnect game today? Yeah, but I can't get outside, so what good does that do me? I need a light source. I've got a battery. Sort of. I don't have it, but I know where it is. I'd really like to know. An old metal key. Bill, I owe you many thanks for forwarding my request to the New York Times. I think we have the new opportunity to tell the great science stories of the 20th century. We said we'll start the process. The Times is a great first step, but when we are finished, I want to have headlines written about me on the front page of every paper in the country. The key to our success is Harris Bullard's brain research. He has discovered something fundamental about the operation of subconscious brain waves, and I believe that he will soon harness his knowledge to build a device whose object is to make men superhuman. Our first task is to procure this device before Bullard can publicize it, and my plans for accomplishing that are already in motion. Once the device is in my hands, I am confident that I can reproduce and improve upon his work. That Mr. Mitchell is where you come in. An invention of this magnitude must not be consigned to the boneyard of the academic journal. It deserves praise and recognition from the common man. We will make it the story of the year, and then we will sell the technology to those rich enough to meet our price. For now, we wait for Bullard to finish the device, and then we will make our move. I look forward to our continued cooperation in this mutually beneficial partnership. Best regards, Graham Wellington. Well, said the one door was locked? Well, if it's locked, I got somewhere I can go now. And there's the flashlight. Cold winter increases risk of exposure. Kansas City, Kansas. The temperature is below 20 for most of the state. Experts warn the deaths from hypothermia are on the rise. Several deaths have been attributed to the cold this year, including 2 hikers found south of Ottawa with a man in Wichita. December is one of the deadliest months, says Shirley Manning, Chief Medical Examiner at Ottawa Police Department. People don't realize how cold it's gotten and go out unprepared. Profound hypothermia occurs when a person's core body temperature drops below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. However, scientists do not yet understand why the deep cold kills some people and spares others. According to Manning, men are at greater risk than women, and the cold is particularly dangerous for thin people. Identifying death by hypothermia can be a challenge, said Manning. If the victim is found in the snow with his clothes half off, then we know, but sometimes bodies aren't recovered until much later, often without a mark on them. Scientists do not understand why some victims of hypothermia remove their clothing, a phenomenon called paradoxical undressing, while others do not. Last March, the body of a 30-year-old woman who had been missing for several days was found near Topeka. After failing to identify the cause of death, the coroner chalked it up to exposure to the elements. The easiest way to stay safe is to not go out alone in the cold, especially at night, said Manning. If you must go out, make sure that other people know where you are headed and dress warmly. If you're in a car accident, stay in the car. Don't try to hoof it out to the next town on your own. There's the leeches. Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 14. We rounded the corner and Johnson stopped dead, like he'd been given an electric shock. I about ran into him, cursing before I heard it. I was somewhere far ahead, deep in the darkness. Somebody was singing, a woman's voice. It echoed off the crystal walls and made it sing everywhere at once. The song was so faint, I listened hard, but couldn't make out the words. The melody was odd, ghost-like, but it was definitely a person singing. Johnson turned and looked at me, but didn't say anything. We both understood. Somebody was down there. Somebody who must know the way out. We were saved. We broke into a run. Then Johnson cradling his arm as we tried to cross the forest of crystal, scrambling over translucent beams of amethyst, big as fallen redwoods. I slipped, hit the smooth surface hard, got up again. We followed the woman's voice deeper and deeper into the cave. Jimmy got to the plateau first. I could tell before I made the rise that something was wrong. In the middle of the mesa was a sort of hatch, like something off the deck of a submarine. It was round and made of steel, and sticking out of it was a metal locking wheel. The woman's song drifted up from it like smoke. I looked back at Johnson as I grasped the handle. He was out of breath, still clutching his wrist where his hand had been, trying to keep the cloth tourniquet tight around the stump. He nodded, and I gave it a turn. The toilet is a lot newer than the house itself. Daily log, January 8th, 1956. As I sat late by the window today watching the snow slowly cover the fields, I remember the story of the snow woman. I first encountered it in a thin volume of Japanese folktales that somebody loaned me at the base of Yokohama, and then a decade later it is the only story from that collection that I can recall. The Snow Woman is a fascinating character. She is a monster, a murderer, a force of nature, yet she has human qualities as well. Having fallen in love with a young man, she spares his life in order that she may appear to him later in another form and marry him. By telling her of his father's death, the man breaks a contract, but it's not just a contract between the man and the Snow Woman. It's a contract with the universe itself. It is what binds her to the mortal plane, allowing her to live as a human with the man she loves. By breaking his promise, he has destroyed her life. She is no longer able to remain with him or with her family, even if she should want to. It is no wonder she is angry. Hey! I had the mask on. Flashlight doesn't have any batteries. Yes, but I know where to get the batteries.
If Woodcutter killed Bullard, he was pretty sneaky about it. No marks on the body, no sign of a struggle. Coroner ruled it was pancreatic failure. How do you kill a man without leaving a mark on him? And why return to the scene of the crime?
To steal the equipment, of course. Johnson City, Texas. Presidential Johnson boned up on reports and correspondence at the LBJ Ranch today, pending arrival of cabinet officials for a wide-ranging review of defense and foreign problems. Defense Secretary Robert S. McNamara and Deputy Defense Secretary Cyrus R. Vance were due to arrive by Jetstar at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time and will remain overnight at the ranch. Saigon, South Vietnam, the Viet Cong mounted an assault on the Bien Hoa Airport in Saigon on November 1st. Washington has yet to comment on the impact of the attack on the U.S. operations in Vietnam. Neshoba County, Missouri? I don't remember. 18 men arrested by the FBI in connection with the murder of 3 civil rights workers are still awaiting formal charges from the state. The men, alleged to be members of the Ku Klux Klan, are accused of murdering James Cheney Andrew Goodman and Michael Schwerner with the tacit cooperation of the local police. The 3 activists were visiting the area to investigate the burning of a church. Entertainment. The Supremes' Baby Love remains at the top of the charts this week, followed closely by Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. At the movies, The Outrage opened this week. Paul Newman, Lawrence Harvey, and Claire Bloom star. Hey! Kick ass. Nub. Three or 4 bottles. Come on. Let me turn. Why are you playing these mouse games with me now? Come on. Hey. It's the dude. Oh, I've lost total mouse control. I've lost mouse control. It's not stopping on the 20. It'd be a lot easier if the fucking mouse was working. Oh. Close. I don't know how precise it has to be. Oh, wait. Duh. Your other left. Left 20. $50. Well, I think with the mouse acting up, and I don't know why, it's lit up like it's working. I don't know what its problem is. I'm thinking that I'm not going to be able to complete this. So, until I get the mouse working, I think that's going to be it for the evening. So I want to give a big shout out and thanks to Mooner Designs, everybody who's listening, Frog Leap Studios. And don't forget to check out the Facebook page, the YouTube account, the Twitch page, the Twitter account. Like, follow, subscribe, chat, all of that good stuff. And don't forget, I will be redoing Death Road to Canada to make up for that, unless I can do this and get some operation back. Alright, apparently not. So, until next time.